major goal for us is to be a one-stop shop for rehabilitation. So if you're right out of the hospital, you can come and we get you ready to go. If you're 10 years out of the hospital, well, you come for community and a workout. The goal is to have the facility there to be almost a one-stop shop for everybody with a disability. I was in a diving accident September of 2018 at Lake Belton, actually. And I hit my head on a rock and was paralyzed instantly from the neck down initially, and drowned in that incident. And so I had just turned 26, so I was uninsured, and kind of it's what ended up lead me over to Waco because I was actually on a charity bed. Like I said, I didn't have any insurance, so they took me in, and the average expense for a new spinal cord injury is like $800,000 in the first year, and mine was actually at 2 million. So I had a lot to cover as far as medical bills. There's nothing cheap when it comes to living life with a spinal cord injury or any disability for that matter. We're very limited on resources due to no insurance and stuff. So we had to raise money to get medical bills and rehab and stuff paid for, and that kind of birthed the idea of starting the nonprofit. Once we got everything kind of taken care of on my end, we figured we were pretty good at raising money with events and stuff like that. So we started the nonprofit, Fearless Ventures Foundation. Now, what we do is we offer grants to adaptive athletes, whether you're a spinal cord injury or amputee, wounded veteran, wounded civilian, any kind of disability. When COVID hit, my rehab center got shut down. So my background is in exercise physiology. So I always knew I wanted, obviously, to stay active in any way I could. So we actually built the gym in our backyard, which is where I'm at right now, actually. And we built a gym here. Within 6 months, we were up and running and offering free rehab to people in chairs. We came up with this crazy idea to ride my bike from Dallas to Denver, and we scraped up two other athletes, and we packed up and we rode our hand cycles from here to there, and then we kind of we figured there was kind of a void in the extreme sports like world for adaptive athletes. So that kind of sparked the idea to kind of shift gears and go more into, hey, let's train with a purpose now and find goals that you want to accomplish as far as like now the physical, right? So the big thing with being in a disabled position is that most people think that rehab is it. You're only going to do rehab, and there's got to be kind of like a next step in that eventually your insurance runs out. So that's just the reality of every situation, and then people are left with the decision to say, like, what's next? Do I work out, or do I just sit at home? That's kind of where we're hoping to step in and say, hey, let's train, and now let's get a goal. Do you want to go ride your bike? Do you want to get involved with wheelchair basketball? Do you want to do sit skiing? Any kind of, there's a lot of things out there that most disabled people don't know about. So when we did the bike ride, it kind of sparked the idea, like, hey, let's do this gym thing that we were already doing, but now let's train with a purpose. So maybe we can do, call it like a 9-week program where we train to go skiing, and we get these athletes to come into the gym, and that's kind of what we did. And we tested it in February, ended up taking 5 or 6 athletes up there to Colorado to ski. The goal with ours is to have that solid mix of just the entire community, so that you have the trust from your trainer or PT, along with the support from somebody in the same position. So, and I think that's what's missing in the community, period. Funny enough, like, our gym is not going to look like it'll look like a typical gym. And that's kind of one of our biggest goals with what we're trying to do is we already know that the world is not built for somebody in a chair or somebody with a disability. So one of our big things is to bring people in. If you want to come in and train with us for 9 weeks, we teach you how to adapt at other gyms. So if you're not in the area, that's one of the big things that we'll offer. Our gym is not going to look like an adaptive gym. It'll look like a typical gym. We'll have typical equipment that other gyms will have, but we can set things up, we can modify different things to where you will learn how to use that. And that's the biggest thing is, if you continue to adapt all these things for the wheelchair users, then they're going to be stuck using these adaptations. But if you teach them how to adapt in other places, then they'll just take those adaptations with them and do that. So the look of our gym will look like a typical gym. It'll have racks, it'll have a turf section, regular free weights, funny enough, but yeah, it'll be the exercises that we adapt. We're gonna do at least a biweekly or a monthly workout with the public to where people can come in and work out with adaptive athletes. So it'll kind of be an all-inclusive workout, maybe once a month, once every week, where people come in, they sign up, and they can train with this adaptive athlete, learn about the disability, and then learn how to adapt, learn and see that, wow, this guy's doing it. What's my excuse? So that's one of our big ways that we want to do our community outreach and stuff as well. Compared to most other quadriplegics, I've made an incredible recovery. I still don't have hand function, so I have like wrist and stuff like that, but like my fingers don't move. Community is one of the biggest things. Believe it or not, you can do as much physical therapy as you want, but if your mindset's not there, it's not going to do you any good. And that's one of the biggest issues that we see with people in chairs or people with amputations, people with any other disability, is the acceptance of the life change, right? There's no preparation for being paralyzed when it happens in 2 seconds. So unfortunately, you're forced to go through this PT program that you don't even want to go through. And then the biggest issue is not really seeing anybody else that's like you. You can find PT anywhere you go within 10 miles radius, and usually anywhere in Texas. But I think the community portion of it's what's missing the most, is to see somebody else who was paralyzed from the neck down now potentially walking because of this exercise, or maybe doing the hand cycling, maybe in the Paralympics, to continue the goals. There's a need for post rehab involvement, and I think that's where we come in, because even then, like, people can still do physical therapy out of the hospital, but I think the community portion of it is the biggest thing, is to see people living a normal-ish life, a new normal life, coming from somebody who's 6 years out, now paying it forward to someone who's 6 months out. I think is huge. The real support comes from the circle within, and that's the guys that are going through the same thing day in and day out. Which again is like our major goal, is doing that community. Like, if you want to come do your homework at this gym, come on in. We just want you to be around where you're comfortable and stuff like that too. So there's so many endless goals that we have with the gym, and we have so many different visions when it comes to how we want it to work. And I think opening the doors will be like the first step to getting our mission across. So there's a building. It's about 2,500 square feet, and we have it fully designed already to literally move in as soon as we can get the funding to do so. It's got a restroom in there. It's fully open and accessible, and the way we have it designed, as far as what we want the gym to look like, is to manipulate the space as much as we can. So we want everything to fold into the wall, tables and racks to all fold into the wall, to where if we want to have the open space entirely for community workouts and stuff, we can do that. So that's the goal. Like I said, we're just hoping and praying that we can get the funding to open the doors. And I think once we get our doors open, even if we have two pieces of equipment, we're gonna get to work. And I think once we prove concept that there's a need for it, it's gonna blow up. I don't doubt it at all. It's almost one of those things where we say you build it and they come. We found out there was the need for it, so there was just people in chairs coming out of the woodwork when they found out that this was coming to Waco, and it was eye opening even for us. So yeah, it's been pretty cool.